John's 13th birthday.
He's a
Teenager.
He's a teenager now. First thing you know, he'll be an old bachelor.
Oh, I'll take a regular.
Showed this coat. I know I heard it Steve a while ago, so I'm gonna pour some of it. Onions, sir. Who's been chipping onions? Did you buy them that way?
It's gonna run you away, boy.
I'm trying to get over here in my seat.
I reckon I just wouldn't get over here. Onions smell
I
loud.
tell you what, they are like.
John's birthday.
I thought I'd been on every bit of 60 Tennessee to the Outer Banks, but I don't believe I did on that street.
I'd never been on it till I went up there that camp.
I don't believe I ever been on it. I told Robert, I said, I've been over all of the 64.
I started to go back over there this evening. That Bud Shields looked that camp over and come through.
Oh man, just take a picture of
What
your
is
cake, John.
Well, which road you had to take them down there to go to Statesville?
You just asked you how to move.
Brian, John's
That's what Chris
cousin.
kept telling me up there Sunday evening, or Saturday, when it was Lars with Saturday, that our camera wouldn't work. I said, well, it's a working fine. That will clip.
Yes, I wonder what that picture was.
I said, it's working now, and she said, yeah, but it wasn't working. I said, well,
When I got you and Jason.
Jimmy's match ain't long enough. It's gonna burn his fingers.
Or just take one of the candles and light the.
He like to blow them all out then.
Just take one of the candles. Just take one of the
Yeah,
candles
you
and
get
light
one,
them.
I get one, we'll just light them.
I didn't get a single picture.
We'll put them back, man. Ouch! You're supposed to hold your finger over the others when you're doing that.
Your birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Blow back, boy.
Happy birthday, dear John. Happy birthday to you.
And it's red in it.
How old are you?
Now candles on there now, you smoked up the whole house. That's why we don't light them anymore.
How old are
Okay, John,
you?
read it out loud.
He can't read loud.
Read it out loud.
Read it. We only hear it too.
It hasn't got anything bad in it, John.
You can read it out.
My mom took it out. That tells you something.
Read it. As a relative, you're one of the best. You stand out from all the rest. You're attractive, bright, youthful, and funny. Now, isn't this better than presents or money? Happy birthday, Brian.
Here, John.
Why, sure it's better. Okay, just whatever, whichever ones you want to open. We'll take some or not.
Nobody understands me.
I don't know why they want to lick them and seal them so hard for to use
I
them.
just went there, and there.
Where's Judy? I can't find her.
Back here, that's fine. Just don't look anymore. Just don't look too much, right?
Read them out loud, John.
Can you read that one?
You got to read them, John.
I'm like,
Read it out loud. This year for your birthday, you're gonna set the world on fire. Just by lighting the candles on your cake. Happy birthday. Love, Mama and Papa.
anything else?
Looks like a box of money. I believe I like boxes of money. Tape.
What's on, John? Having trouble?
Do your fingernail on there. Just go drink it. Whatever it is. What is it, John?
See you work, you trying to work with it.
Ring puzzles.
Puzzle, I want to see you work.
He's probably not smart enough.
Grandpa stood up there and watched the man, and then he didn't know how to do
Which one you want
it.
Well, I just got a glimpse, he turned his back. He
Yeah.
said, I'll work it, but said, I won't let you see me.
Okay.
He showed me it could be done.
You got the instructions, huh?
Yes, it's
Both,
got
the both to have.
got a sketch drawn in there.
What's that? Read that, John.
Out loud.
Does anything.
Want it
Gift
recorded.
certificate for John Cresswell, one Boy Scout telescope. Happy birthday.
From who?
From Nana. You hadn't come yet.
Well, by the way, I got you another birthday present out in the car. Got you 4.
John, you
I bet you got 5 pounds in.
I don't know whether or not they're small bags.
Oh.
Take it, never seen old Fraley yet, have you? I told you the other day you was getting my ready to get that title.
What'd you say?
Yeah, I think it made him kind of hot.
Money, money, money.
Said it was in the deal.
I said they're showing it. I know.
Changed it like all the truck.
Just read this card. Brother, when I found this birthday card saying that
I hushed.
a great guy you are and how lucky I am to have you for a brother. My throat clogged, my heart skipped a beat, and I got tears in my eyes.
And then what
I guess I
happened?
hated to part with this dog more than I thought.
Part with what, John?
$1.50.
Oh.
$1.50. Card was too expensive.
The card there.
See my arms stretching across there. Praise them and praise them, and what do you get? If they're like you, the best son yet. Happy birthday. Says you have a set of Topps baseball game cards coming through the mail.
Mail had slow this year.
What'd you order?
What is it?
What model? Stealth fighter.
Hold it over this way so I can get a close-up of you when you go. Okie doke.
Fighter fun.
Whoops. Fire here. Is there a card with you? No, that's from me and Daddy. It'll make you like it, John. You don't have to use it for that. You can use it for cologne.
What you got there, John?
English leather.
Ooh,
I like it.
you'll smell good on your 13th birthday.
After
Couldn't find the cologne today.
Tell him this is centennial year, you're gonna grow a beard.
and Jane tried to say you weren't in bad.
Somebody's down there in that chair, something just you. Come on, we gotta get in here. Come on, bud.
Oh, a sleeping bag. Now you got you a
No,
Bag, I believe.
Yeah.
it's a bag.
no.
You took them.
Oh, what?
If you cross downtown without a beer or without your
You want to
bag.
open it, John?
You got to go to kangaroo court.
Did you want to open it?
Oh,
What color it is?
That knife might tear you.
It's right across here, John.
Plastic though.
He's all over the phone.
Don't want
trying to
those.
open it.
Money bag. I can't. Without paying $150 for it, and I won't pay that one. I'll do that.
I'm trying to find a what?
Money bag.
What's the difference?
Money bag is right at the top and it narrows down.
Just fix your
You ain't got no loose, no extra room in there to store cold air.
And it goes up, it's got a hood around your head.
When you pull it down, it things out, it's just your face.
Oh.
That's right here.
There, we found his old one.
They just,
Did it get lost?
they didn't do anything,
Yeah.
but just bag it
Uh-oh.
up, that's all they done.
Had it dry cleaned? Put it in a new box?
Get the stuff separate. First time,
Big
New
boy, you
sleeping
like
bag.
that, just use hay.
first time you ever about out of it in the Eastman Mall over there, you get you a bag that you can stuff it down in.
Yeah.
You can get
But-
them at Walmart.
Easier than rolling them up.
Oh,
Walmart.
just once.
You can get that,
Down
you
in
can
there.
get
Fix the date. Happy birthday, John. Thank you. Hope you're happy.
John cleaning up his mess.
What should he, surely wish he could have given up his own name or something.
The cake. John gets the first slice.
We ought to have cut.
So I didn't say more.
Right.
That week before last.
Here you go, John.
I'm gonna sit back down that road just a little bit.
Okay, Mom, John, and Dad. John's 13th birthday cake.
Happy birthday, John. You're a teenager.
Yeah, cake's good. This year.
Flowers on the trees. Working on the pond. Working on Jimmy's pond, constructing his pond. and pond site. Pond construction. First gate. There's a pond. second day of Jimmy's pond construction. Island in the middle. Don't get too much inside. Don't get not as bad as nothing on his
I started him on it. I got one fixed in.
Okay, I think we can begin now. This is James Creswell and Patrick Keenan.
I need light on. Hey, light on for now. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is J.R. Creswell. It's my partner, Patrick Keenan. And our project is a study and analysis of how physical and chemical factors affect plankton density in 3 different tidal creeks. And this is a map of New Hanover County. That's the city of Wilmington. That's Wrightsville Beach. And for our 3 sites, we chose one on Shell Island, one on Bradley Creek, and one on Smith Creek. At each site, we took dissolved oxygen, salinity, and temperature readings. Then we took measured plankton zones from which our copepod and diatom densities were derived. We also took water samples, which we took back to the lab, and tested for pH, hardness, alkalinity, chloroform, and heavy metals such as iron and magnesium. Our first site, Shell Island, was chosen because it's located in the most sparsely populated area of Wrightsville Beach, and it represents the area of least pollution in our project. Our second site, Bradley Creek, we chose it because we believe it would be slightly residentially polluted and would provide a good medium between our least and most polluted sites. Our third site, which is Smith Creek, we chose because it's a dumping site for the water of a nearby sewage treatment facility and is an area of recent environmental concern. If you get lights, Stephen. These are all the factors of the water that we tested. The first one is dissolved oxygen. It's simply the amount in parts per million of oxygen that is dissolved in water. It's very important because oxygen is needed in water for the aquatic plant cells to carry out aerobic respiration. And if dissolved oxygen levels fall below 3 parts per million, it would be difficult for any aquatic life to survive. The next aspect we tested was salinity. This is simply the amount of salt that's dissolved in the water. And it's measured not in parts per million, but parts per thousand. And the average for the open ocean is 35 parts per thousand. So as you can see, it starts at 31 parts per thousand, where it's nearest to the ocean, it steadily decreases as you get farther away from the open ocean. The next test is called, we'll get the hardness and alkalinity later in the presentation. The next one is called chloroform, and it's just a test to determine if water is polluted with human waste. It determines this by testing for the E. coli bacteria, which is found in the human large intestine for aid in digestion. And it's a very common form of pollution in the intertidal zone. You'll see yellow and green signs up, say no shellfishing. This is because it's polluted with the E. coli, and take shellfish from these areas, it will make you very sick. The next 2 we tested were iron and magnesium. We tested those with an atomic absorption spectrometer. Just heats up, takes a small sample of water, needs to go to extremely high temperatures, so nothing's rest but all the particles that were dissolved, shoots a cathode through those particles and detects the metal that you're testing for. And heavy metals are extremely toxic because of the ions or in certain compounds that are soluble in water and may be ingested and absorbed into the body, where they tend to combine with and inhibit the function of particular enzymes. In very small amounts can cause severe physiological or neurological consequences. The next test we ran was pH. The term pH is used to define the degree of acidity or alkalinity of water. Salt water has a fairly constant pH, with an average 8.1, and most aquatic life prefers an environment that has anywhere from 3.5 to 10 on the pH scale, and 0 is being the most acid, 14 the most alkaline, and 7 is completely neutral, so all of our samples they are basically neutral. Next two things are organisms that we took densities of. First one is copepods. The copepod is the dominant zooplankton herbivore found in all of our 3 sites and all other salt water for that matter. And herbivore means they eat plants, and the main plant they eat is diatoms. And diatoms are algae organisms which are enclosed in a 2-part siliconeous shell. And at the very bottom of the food chain.
The densities of the copepods and the diatoms were calculated by dividing the number of counted organisms by the size of our sample in cubic meters. Push forward. These numbers do not represent the total population of organisms within each site, but give us an approximate density per cubic meter. Here we have copepod densities at each site. The sites themselves are represented on the x-axis, Shell Island, Bradley Creek, Smith Creek, and the density in cubic meters is represented on the y-axis. The highest copepod density was at Shell Island, which was 12.7 per cubic meter. Next was Bradley Creek, 4.0 per cubic meter. And then lastly, Smith Creek, which had 1.9 per cubic meter. The reason this is so, as JR said earlier, the pollution levels go down with each site. Next slide, please. Okay. Our second graph, diatom densities at each site, once again shows the site on the x-axis and the density in cubic meters on the y-axis. The density, the diatom density at Shell Island was 9,163.6 per cubic meter. At Bradley Creek, it was 831.1 per cubic meter, and at Smith Creek, it was 459.8 per cubic meter. We see the same pattern here once again because copepods copepods do eat diatoms, thus they would follow the same pattern. Next slide, please. The relationship between the copepods and diatoms is effectively illustrated in this third graph. As the density of the diatoms increases, so does the density of copepods, and the reason for this is that copepods do eat diatoms.
Just turn it off.
Turn it off.
Play.
Go backwards.
We did have an actual photograph of this, but they were lost, so we have to improvise with another test. Another test that we ran in the chemistry lab was hardness, a hardness titration. A little bit about hardness. Water which contains small concentrations of the alkaline earth metals calcium and magnesium are considered salt, and those containing large concentrations are considered hard. It's well established that the more calcium and magnesium present in estuarine environments, the greater the productivity those environments will be. Water hardness is determined by titrating water sample with EDTA. Even though calcium and magnesium ions are both involved in determining water hardness, the traditional method of expressing water hardness is in parts per million. This is because our method of determining hardness does not distinguish between calcium and magnesium, but is expressed as parts per million calcium carbonate. A little bit without titration. We take the sample there, and we mix it with 5 milliliters of a pH 10 buffer, an indicator, and 15 drops of magnesium chloride. And filled in the burette there would be EDTA, and this would be pink at the bottom. You then titrate until your sample turns light blue, then read how much EDTA you used to reach that endpoint and do a few simple calculations. It has your total hardness. Next slide.
Okay, Patrick, you're gonna have to show me which slide last time.
Okay, go back. Okay, that's it. Wait, go forward. Yeah, that's it. This graph, one of the tests we did was salinity, and this graph diatoms and copepods versus salinity. We just decided to do it. On the x-axis, we have the salinity in parts per thousand. And then on the right y-axis, we have copepods, the density of the copepods, which is in cubic meters. And on the left y-axis, we have the density of the diatoms, which is in cubic meters. The relationship here shows Smith Creek at the bottom with the lowest salinity, also having the lowest density in both diatoms and copepods. Then Bradley Creek in both sides, it has the lowest, its salinity is 9. Its density is higher in both Creek. And then lastly, Shell Island had the highest salinity and then had the highest density in both areas. From this, you can see that as the salinity increases in all three areas, the densities of both copepods and diatoms do. There's a direct relationship between the two variables. Okay, next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay. This graph, copepod density versus hardness, this shows hardness in parts per million. On the x-axis, it shows the density, they've knocked it off, it's the density of the copepods on the y-axis. Now the results we came out here were a bit different than we had expected, and we can only say that because other chemical factors might have changed or affected the results we came out with. Bradley Creek had the lowest hardness, but had a higher density of copepods than Smith Creek, which had a higher hardness. But once again, Shell Island had the higher hardness and lower density. Can I have the next slide, please? The final graph we have compares the diatom density to the hardness. We came out with about the same graph as we did the copepod graph. Bradley Creek having the lowest hardness, but a higher diatom density than Smith Creek. And then lastly, Shell Island had the higher density in diatoms and had a higher hardness. And lights coming out.
The last test we ran was alkalinity. Warner owes its alkaline properties to the presence of bicarbonate, carbonate, borate, phosphate, silicate, and fluoride ions. However, the alkalinity of natural waters is generally the result of bicarbonates, mainly calcium carbonate. Three kinds of alkalinity are indicated: hydroxide, normal carbonate, and bicarbonate. The three are summed as total alkalinity, and this is how our results were expressed. The alkalinity balance is instrumental in maintaining a relatively constant pH. The alkalinity is low, the water will be poorly buffered and thus subject to greater changes in pH. A high value for alkalinity will make the water more resistant to change.
After analyzing these results, we came to the conclusion that both salinity and the presence of E. coli have a significant relationship with plankton density. We also believe that that other chemical conditions may have disturbed our shown ratios. Thank you for your attention, and does anyone have any questions?
Some of the parents of the children were at the 5-week Sunday school here. And John was stuck to tell a joke. Is it recording?
Yeah.
Well, get the battleship.
You're getting that range when you're sitting there. There's no way you can. Red.
Pond fishermen today. Pond construction's come to a halt. Rain in the pond water. Wait for it to dry out some. That's the end that has got to be worked on yet. That end of the dam and end of the pond. John waiting for a bite. Robert Hill, final phases of the dam.
man had to get lost to find himself. George C. Scott, Hector Elizondo, Finding the Way Home, next.
We're all ears. Well, all right. Charles de Gaulle leans over to me, and in that distinctive voice known to a generation of Frenchmen, he says, "You're not Murphy Brown."
I'm gonna catch this thing. It's a big rattler. Oh yeah. That's 5.5 feet. I don't think he sees me yet. That bug on him. Zoom away. Gotta be careful. Scared me. She's asleep. Just woke up. He's a big one. Now, how would you like to see that? On your front doorstep. Oh, scared me, jeez. Oh man. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Jesus. Let's try that again. Don't worry, just nerves. Believe me, there's no way this thing's alive. I was just squeezing its muscles there. Oh, yeah. Look, it's alive. Check out the tail action. Now I got it moving then. Watch this now. Or he's good and dead. His brain's just not completely dead yet. And all of his stuff's gone. Watch it move when I squeeze him. Come on. He did it that time, didn't he? Oh, yeah. Oh, let's see. Yep, he's dead. Crushed most of those nerves. I'm not pulling it up, it's raising up naturally. I don't feel like doing it up there again. drill there.
The shirt you got on looks as dirty as he is.
John,
No,
come and get a hold of this pencil. Let him get yours.
John, you can get over there with Papa.
Can you hold it up that high? Just hold the pencil. It'll hold it. Just hold it up right there, just like that. Now take your hand off so you can see it. Hold it up this far, but hold it right there like that. I'll hold your arm.
Okay.
John wants this one.
Can he hold it? Just hold him up.
Can you? No, he can't hold it.
Wait a minute, turn him. Let him turn around.
Like
Now,
that.
I mean
Turn
the
your hand
snake.
this
Let
way
him turn a little bit.
About give out.
Okay.
Stick up.
Is that
Now.
okay? Boy, he's a big one.
Is the light on?
A little green light.
Red. Yeah.
I see a little green light.
Okay.
Okay, how's that? Cut it off?
Yeah.
I don't know what it'll be, but
Yep. See his thing? Focus. How do you turn it off?
Get your nail, put it through his head, hanging up here.
How do you turn it off?
mash the button again.
I did. So you won't be shooting in the little light.
Soccer team. We're playing New London today.
Don't stop on the ball. Kick. Good try, though. Rufus, roll. Steven. Right there, get in on him. Woo! Good save, Joey. Coming to you, Amber. There you go, John.
Go ahead, John.
Check it out. No good.
Take it. Go. Come on, bro. Joey, come out and get the ball. Get Joey. Make it wait, Will. Get up. Get in there, Amber. Sub. What do you call it, Adam? What is that?
Come on, John. Come on, John.
Way to go, Joey.
Come on, get in there.
Hey, listen. Hey, move on the ball.
Come on, John, get over there.
Stop it.
Way to go, Richard.
Take it, John.
Go, coach, Jibble.
Take it, John.
John.
Get that sucker. Joey, don't kick it in the middle. Back to your position, Clay.
Get her again, boy.
Back up, Clay. Pull back. Pull back. Move back a little. Go pitch it up. Clay.
Come on, John, get it.
John ain't good enough.
Take it. Upfield.
Come on, Rick.
That's it.
Go.
Come on, Rick. That's it. Go quick.
He will. But you can't get on this. And if we're on this, you can.
That's it. Now go.
I'm on here too. Now you can't get on this. If you're the shark, you can't stop. We're allowed to come up here also. Come on, Daniel.
Clear to the side. Come on, John. That's it, John. Good job, John.
Come over here. Go. You can get me because I'm on the other side.
Go over on the other side.
You can't touch me after the shower. Thank you, Dad. Go across the wall. No, he's a shark. Sister, hurry! Really like you. Nobody cares. Faster, baby!
That's the girl, Julie.
Wait up! Hey, guys! Get up here, Dad! Baby! Carolyn?
Good. Stay there, though. Jump over that ball.
Carolyn! I'm not playing. Why?
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Whoa, look at that. stop, Julie. Get it out of there! Clear it out! Clear it out! Clear it to the outside! Go get the ball!
Get it, John?
Brian Burnside!
Get it, John? Kick it!
Get it, John.
Watch behind you.
Go, Bobby!
Good play. Go, Daniel! Way to go, Clay! Way to go, Adam! Upfield, John! Hurry! There you go!
Get it! Go!
Run through it! Don't walk away from it, Bo! Oh, Daniel, you got to control it first! Clear the ball out of there!
Secretary, and Aaron Bass has been elected treasurer. treasurer. For our installation of officers today, Stacy Lennon will represent the vice president who will be elected for the new 7th grade members after they are typed in today. David Stein will represent the members of the club at today's installation. I have been elected president of this junior beta club and will endeavor to merit the confidence of my fellow members in selecting me to be the chief representative and leader of this group. I publicly pledge my cooperation and loyalty to the members, sponsors, school officials, and faculty, also to you, members of the student body of Baden Elementary School. Our club is called a student, and as such, we hope to be of service to our school, our community, our state, and our nation. These 3 candles in red, white, and blue indicate to you our interpretation of their meaning, and we pledge ourselves to uphold the ideals of our nation. White and noble, light, purity, and faith. As president of the Junior Beta Club, I will endeavor to hold high this light. It is with humility, joy, and pride that I undertake this task and accept this responsibility. I am representing the Vice President of the Junior Beta Club, who is to be elected from the new 7th graders who will be tapped in today. The Vice President will pledge his assistance to the President. He shall serve as Chairman of the Executive Committee and will accept responsibilities suggested to him by the President. The candle I light for him is red. This color denotes pure love and wisdom. It suggests bravery also. Another objective of our National Junior Beta Club is to encourage fellowship, cooperation. To encourage fellowship, both of the Junior Beta members and the non-members will require love of fellow students and interest in each one. In order to have friends, one must be friendly. We want each of you to consider the Junior Beta group as your friend. We strive to be a democratic organization and earnestly ask for wisdom and courage to live up to the motto of our club. Let us lead by serving others. To you, the faculty and student body, we pledge our cooperation and in turn we select your support and confidence. I would like the blue candle, which is indicative of truth, constancy, and fidelity. These attributes are not only essential in loyalty to one's nation, but also are most necessary in expressing loyalty to our local club and to our schools. As Secretary of the Junior Beta Club, I pledge you this fidelity. My task within the club will entail many duties such as keeping records and correspondence. Since the public will and the large measure judge my club and my school by reports I give, I shall endeavor to be prompt in correspondence, keep my records complete, and give out accurate information, thereby displaying truth, constancy, and fidelity in all that I do. The third objective of the National Junior Beta Club is to reward effort and achievement. We hope our chapter will prove a stimulus to the student body. If you strive to attain the requirements of good scholarship, good character, a commendable attitude, and show creditable achievement, your faculty will recognize this effort, and the members of this club will be happy to acknowledge this achievement and extend a hearty welcome into our ranks. We are here today to receive into our circle new members. I publicly welcome you and pledge you our friendship and support. You will notice the candles in this group show the colors of the National Junior Beta Club, black and gold. I would like the black candle, which symbolizes the unity, restraint, and seriousness which should attend our search for knowledge and truth. I am the treasurer of the Junior Beta Club. This office is one of dignity, and the task is one to be regarded seriously. I have to keep the financial records carefully and make regular reports to my fellow members. The fourth objective of the National Junior Beta Club is to inspire honesty and tolerance. We feel that these qualities are quite necessary in the development of good citizens. We hope that membership in our Junior Beta Club will help part in leading students to become more tolerant and present, each with the importance of honesty to ourselves as well as our fellow men. As treasurer, I pledge you my individual support, and at the Junior Beta Club, we assure you our intent to grow more tolerant, trustworthy members of the student body.
I represent the members of this club. I would like to go on camera which designates warmth, friendship, and faithfulness. As members of the National Junior Beta Club, we have heard the pledges made to us, to the new members, to the faculty, and to you members of the student body. We are in accord with the expressions of our leaders. We in turn pledge our faithful cooperation to them during this year. We promise to let aside petty, jealous, and ambition, and to work loyally and earnestly to become better citizens in a democratic world. Perfection is not a human trait, but we are all to strive for it. This we will do, working together, friendship and fellowship.
Thank you for helping us to induct our officers. We will now have a brief program based on the characteristics of all Bears Club members in preparation for our tapping ceremony. Fellow students, I have always heard from older, cooler, and wiser heads that what each student needs in school is a challenge, an impetus to push him on to his best work. We of the Junior Beta Club hope that we provide such an incentive. The requirements for membership are such that a student must show a commendable attitude besides a great deal of accomplishment and grades. Now, the question may arise in your mind, why do the Junior Betas care what kind of grades I make? What's it to them? The answers to these questions being that the primary purpose of Beta, the betterment of our school. A school's accomplishments are gauged by the individual accomplishments of its students. We meet here to honor those who we feel have done the most towards these ends. We prepare to induct a new harvest of Junior Betas into our club. We say these students represent a harvest because we hope that the combined efforts of teachers and students have cultivated a group of new Junior Betas who will be a help to their teachers, fellow students, and their school.
Achievement. Instead of looking at the word achievement as defined in the dictionary, this is eminent from another viewpoint, that of the Junior Beta. To me, Junior Beta membership is an achievement. You must not only have achieved a high scholastic standing, but also you must have achieved an outstanding character as well. Upon becoming a Junior Beta Club member, you will become more familiar with the word achievement. The Junior Beta Club sets high standards for its members, and it takes a lot of achievement to meet these standards. Only by putting forth an effort as an individual and as a group can these achievements be experienced and the standards met. It is often said that if you're the best, you've achieved a lot. There's a lot of truth in that statement.
With each other's knowledge and to acquire the know-how, we must strive to achieve the very best we possibly can. For what we obtain in our minds as knowledge will benefit us as individuals, and through us our school, community, state, and nation. As for the new Junior Betas we will tap into our club today, vision will enable you to excel. Everyone's goal should be to try to better himself, and through vision this is possible. We need to work hard for these goals and achievements, but we can only do this through our own efforts and enthusiasm. If we can develop this quality of vision, we can achieve nearly anything we want, including the most difficult tasks of our daily lives. Thank you all for coming today. I want to introduce one Beta Club member that's a transfer member with us this year, Holly Whitley. She transferred from Oakboro. She was captain to the Beta Club there last year in 7th grade, so she's not a new member, but a returning member with us. I'd like to introduce all the new members to you. If I get their names wrong, it's not because I don't know them, but I'm just Alexa Whitley, Lynetta Jones, Ramsey, Jessica, Tabitha, Jennifer, and Wes, Michael Bowles, Kyle Ford, Brenda Wagner, Tammy Hatway, John Cresswell, Alan Chapman, Aaron Malden, Tina Heineman, Matt Talbert, Holly Whitley, Jenny Whitley, I do it all the time, get mixed up, and Catherine Hinkle. These are our new members. Let's give them another.